Hello students, today we are going to discuss the next P in marketing mix, that is the pricing. Okay, so what is price? Price is the amount which a customer is willing to pay for a particular product. Okay, so it is the value which the customer is ready to pay for a product. Now a company, they have to fix the price of the product taking into consideration different factors. So there are different pricing strategies based on the goals or the objective of the company. Based on the objectives of the company, there are different pricing strategy which a company can follow. So a pricing strategy which we are going to study, there are four pricing strategy. First is the cost plus pricing, then penetration, then skimming pricing, and then variable pricing. Now first one, the cost plus pricing. Here the company is fixing the price based on the amount which is incurred on manufacturing the product. That means whatever expenses the company has made for manufacturing that product, they are taking into consideration that cost price. So in cost plus price method, the company is charging the price which is inclusive, which is included, which is taking into consideration, or which is inclusive of all the expenses which the company incurs in the manufacturing of the product plus the price. So here cost plus, sorry, not price, profit. So cost and a reasonable profit is added, and then prices are fixed by the company. Now here the benefit of cost plus pricing is that the company exactly knows that what expenditure the company has done, and if there is escalation in expenses, the company they are well aware of this reason for this escalation. So this is the benefit. But what cost plus pricing is ignoring is they are ignoring the competitor's price. Maybe if a product is the cost plus price a company is fixing for its product is suppose 100 rupees, but the competitors are selling that particular product for rupees 97 or 98. So they are not considering the competitor's price here, they are considering their cost plus a reasonable profit. So this is one of the disadvantage. Then the customer will shift to that particular purchase the product of the competitors because it is available at a lower price. So this is cost plus pricing disadvantage. Now next is penetration pricing. Penetration pricing means initially charging a lower rate to enter into the market. That means when the company wants to enter into the market, start selling its product, it wanted to attract more and more customers towards their product, then the company sells the product at a lower price initially, and then later on they will start increasing the prices. So you can take example here of Jio, which was initially available free of cost, and then initially some charges were there, and then they have started charging. Now this is what it is penetrating into the market. Penetration means entering into the market very deep. Okay, so the benefit of this is it helps in, it results in fast diffusion. The customers will enter into your market, the customer will purchase your product, and this will create a goodwill for your company, and there will be higher turnover with this. But the disadvantage is that initially the profit margin will be very lower. So maybe some companies, they will feel difficulty in survival during that initial period when the prices are kept very low. And the customers, the second disadvantage is the customer will expect lower prices in future also, but when the company will start increasing the price of their product, then this will have an adverse effect on the customers. So this is what penetration pricing is. Second is skimming pricing. Skimming pricing is to reach the BEP. What I said, to reach the BEP, that is break-even point. I hope you all remember what is break-even point. Break-even point is the point of no profit, no loss. Okay, it is that unit or that quantity which a company will sell and it will be at no profit, no loss situation. Now, to reach its BEP, the company sells the product initially at higher prices. Okay, this is what skimming price is. So initially higher prices are market for the product, higher prices are charged for the product, and this happens mainly in case of mobile phones. Okay, in case of mobile phones, what happened? Particular customer, they purchase it at a very high prices, and later on the prices reduces. So this is good for the people who consider quality and not the prices. Okay, there are few customers who consider more the quality of the product and they don't consider much the prices. So for that particular product, for those customers, skimming prices are kept. And the disadvantage of this is many a times it happens that the customers, the prices, when it will reduce, that will reduce the market share of the company also, and the business, if the competitors, they have also started decreasing the lowering the price of their product, then this will be a type of backfire to the company. And this is what skimming prices is. Next is variable pricing. Variable pricing means charging different prices to different customers for the same product. Okay, when a same product is sold to different customer on different prices, that is what variable pricing is. Now where it happens, firstly, it variable prices are charged depending upon the order size of the customer. If a customer is purchasing only, suppose 10 units, then he will be charged different price, and if a customer is placing an order for 1000 unit, the prices will be reduced. This happens. Okay, so we have also seen this in our life. When you are purchasing in bulk, you will get lower, the prices will be reduced, and if you are going for purchasing only 1 unit, prices will not be reduced. So this is what variable price is. Second is, if there is anticipation of business from that customer. That means if the company is anticipating that this customer will bring more and more business to us, then the company will charge different prices. Okay, so for example, in schools, the fees of first child, you have to pay 100% fees, but if you are admitting your second child in the same school, then you will get a fee reduction of suppose 10% or 15% reduction in the fees. So this is what different prices. Then it depends upon the bargaining power of the customer also. If the customer are bargaining very well, they are getting the product at lesser price, and if they are not bargaining, they have to pay the MRP or the price is fixed. Now and then the ability of the buyer also to pay, means the ability of the buyer, how much money they are having, it depends on that also. Now variable prices, the main demerit of this variable prices is it creates dissatisfaction on the dissatisfaction in the customer. That means suppose a customer buys a particular product for 100 rupees, and after some times it comes to know that his friend has visited that particular shop and he has purchased that product for rupees 80 after bargaining. So the customer who has paid 100 rupees will get dissatisfied because of that. So it creates dissatisfaction and it affects the goodwill of the company. It adversely affects the goodwill of the company. So these are the 4 pricing strategy. Now which strategy the company will follow depends upon the objective of the company, whether they want to reach BEP fast, or they want to penetrate into the market, or their objective is to cover all the cost and to have a reasonable profit, or they depend upon the ability of the customer to pay, on the bargaining power of the customers, or they are considering the order size. So whatever it is, so it depends upon the objective of the company. Based on that, they follow a particular pricing strategy. The next topic is the place mix. See, we have done first the product. In that we have seen branding, labeling, packaging. Okay. Next we have done price. After product we have done price. In that we have seen the different pricing strategies. And third one is the place mix. Place mix, or we can say distribution mix also. Now see, goods are manufactured at a particular place and it is sold in a wider geographical area. Okay. So how these goods are moved from one place to another. So place mix or place is created by transportation. This place utility is created by transportation, movement of goods from one place to another. Now how these goods are moving from one place to another, what is the distribution channel? So there are actually 3 types of flow. When we will talk about the channels of distribution, that how the goods are will be distributed to the customers. So this channel of distribution, there are 3 types of flow. First is downward flow. Now what will flow from upward to downward? The goods and services, or the products which are manufactured by the producers, they will move downward to the customers, they are going downward. And what will move upward in the sequence, in the line? The payment, the cash, okay. So that will move upward. And there is something which is moving upward as well as downward, that is information. Okay, the information from the customers, that whether they are satisfied or not, the feedback of the customers will move upward, and the information about the usage of the product, about the specification, the quality, the benefits, the features of the product, that information will flow from upward to downward. So there are three types of flow. Flow of goods from upward to downward, then flow of cash or payments from downward to upward, that is upward movement, and then information both ways. Now after that we will see that there are 4 channels of distribution which we have to do. First one is the zero level. This is also known as direct channel. Okay. Second one is 1 level, then 2 level, and then 3 level. Now first one is zero level, or it is also known as the direct channel. Means what? There is no intermediary in between the producer and the consumer. The producer will produce the good, they will manufacture the product, and they will sell directly to the customers. So when a producer sells the product directly to the customers, that is zero level or direct level, where there is no intermediaries in between. Okay. Then after that, if we have one intermediary in there, then it is 1 level. That means in between the producer and consumer, there is only one person in between. This is what he is, the retailer. So it is 1 level where the producers are giving their products to the retailers and they are selling it to the customers. Next is 2 level. Here wholesaler and then retailer. That means the product will be given from the producer, it will move to the wholesaler or distributor, and then to the retailer, and then retailer will sell finally these goods to the consumer. Then third one is the 3 level. 3 level means what? First level, there will be an agent or a broker. Okay, they will deliver the product to the wholesaler, then the wholesaler will give this product to the retailer, and then finally to the customers. So these are the 4 channels of distribution: direct or zero level, where no intermediary is in between, then 1 level, 1 intermediary, then 2 level, 2 intermediary, 3 level, 3 intermediary. So these are the channels of distribution. Now on what basis these channels are selected? Now there are different criteria, like related to the product. If the product are very standardized, or then you can have longer channel. But suppose a person is manufacturing customized product, tailor-made product, then there should be no intermediary in between. The producer who is giving a tailor-made product or who is giving a customized product, he has to directly contact the consumers. Okay, so their zero level should be there. Where the goods are perishable, their zero level will be there. And if the goods are standardized, they are not perishable, they can be kept for a longer period of time, they are standardized, longer channels can be preferred. Now after that we have, it depends upon the market also. If the market is limited to a particular area, then you can have direct. But if it is scattered, the customers are scattered over a larger geographical area, you have to go for longer channel. Now it depends upon the consideration related to the company also. If the company is very, they are financially very sound, they can open their own outlets, then they will go for this one. Otherwise, if they want to control the channel of distribution, they will go for zero level. Otherwise, if they are not financially sound, they don't want to control the channel of distribution, then they will go for longer. Now there are other considerations related to government and competitors. So different factors are there based on which a company decides that which level of or which channel of distribution the company is going to follow. So with this we complete the 3 P's of marketing mix. 4th P is in next chapter, where we will do sales and marketing strategy also, and then promotion mix. For now only this much we have to do. Thank you.